Rustler Gymnasium on a Friday night, feels like actually a Wednesday. It is Rustler Volleyball. The first time our Rustlers have been home in 5 weeks. Good evening, I'm John Gabrielson alongside Joel Kindle and our student broadcast crew back in the saddle and getting ready for Pink Night as the 13th ranked team in the country, the Lady Rustlers, riding a 3-game win streak, take on Angel Sharman, long time, the most tenured coach in Region 9 volleyball, and the Casper Thunderbirds.
Yeah, definitely a wily veteran, let's put it that way, because I remember last year, she lost 3 matches one day here last year, came back and won the region, in regular season play.
And had the player of the year, the freshman of the year, the center of the year. She was named the coach of the year. And here she is back once again. And I was chatting with her prior to the matches starting, and I said, what year is this? And she said 20-something, and she's amassed over 600 wins in her career, over 500 at Casper College alone. And yeah, just as you said, the wily veteran, one of our favorite people to talk to, and coaches in Region 9, Angel Sharman and her Thunderbirds coming in here tonight.
And I think if she's on the other side of the net, you never count that team out.
No, and that's not an easy out. I've been saying that all along, is like you said, lost 3 times in this gym last year. They were
that takes some doing schedule-wise.
They were 1-2 in this gym against Central last year, losing that regular non-conference game early on, then splitting the regular season, each team winning at home, and then, like I said, Casper winning the Region 9 Conference North Championship last year. And I talked with her prior to her coming up. I texted her and I said, hey, when are you going to get here? I'd like to talk to you about your team. And she said, we're not playing very well and we're injured, even though they just beat NJC. And she said, we're injured. And I said, I think you were in that same boat last year when you took apart Central at your place last year. And she said, well, we'll see what happens tonight. So, like I said, though, you never count out the Thunderbirds.
And she doesn't waste words.
No,
she doesn't.
She has been around long enough to know that that's not something that you do. Angel Sharman's team, 12-12 overall, 2-1 in conference play. They beat LCCC 3-0 their last time out. They fell to Eastern. They also beat Western Wyoming, and they beat NJC in 5, 3-2.
And I think they're about the only team in the North region, along with us, that has played a schedule similar to us, as far as the level of competition.
Yeah, ranked teams almost week in, week out for sure. Speaking of ranked teams, the Central Ladies are 13th in the country, 13-5 overall. Last year finished 19-10 in a COVID-shortened season, 1 win from the national tournament. All time against Casper, this will be the 43rd meeting, and it's more lopsided than I actually thought. 31-11 Casper since CWC brought the sport back. 31-11, this being the 43rd meeting.
Of course, you have to remember when we started bringing these sports back, who was the gold standard pretty much in every sport? It was Casper College.
It was the Thunderbirds.
I would venture to say they're probably the biggest rival for us, and maybe for almost every other school in this region.
And I've been asked that by new students that come in, year out. They're like, who is our rival? And I'm like, that's tough to say. It maybe varies with sports, but I think you're right. I think by and large, it probably is the Thunderbirds. And that could be said for a lot of teams in the conference as well. A couple of things to look out for in this ball game. Number one is Central brings back 3 all-Region 9 players from a year ago. Kenzie Templeton, Sophie Langer, and Ava Rasmussen, all 3 back. And all 3 are writing the history books. Kenzie is 10 kills away from number 3 in modern-day digs. And then you have Ava Rasmussen, number 2 in blocks, albeit asterisk, she's getting a 3rd season due to COVID to do that. Sophie Langer is 3rd in assists, and probably just given the 2 that are ahead of her, Brooke Tolman and Katie St. John, it's a long way to catch her, especially when she didn't get about a dozen extra games last year like the other teams did because of COVID.
Yeah, something I want to add there, too, is one thing that I noticed is Kenzie Templeton's play in the back court this year. I think that, or in the back row, I think that's something that has really been a bigger factor too, as she is a full rotation player and does a great job in the back row as well.
Think about this. You've got Alondra Hernandez back there, who is going to be all Region 9 as a libero for sure. And then Haruka Shugamoto, who is a very good defensive specialist, only plays half the time in the back row. And Kenzie has more digs than our other defensive specialists. And not to take anything away from Haruka, just to say how good Kenzie is all the way around the court.
Well, thanks for propping up my point.
That's what I'm here for. Back it up with some stats, if you will. Pink night for Darshea Gallard and the CWC ladies. We will have a guest speaker coming up here in just a quick minute that will speak to the crowd, and then we'll turn it over to Steve Barlow as he will be our PA announcer, and we'll get some starting lineups. On the other side, real quick, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Camille Nate, the freshman of the year and the setter of the year from Cokeville, Wyoming, the sophomore for Coach Angel Sharman.
That's a little school that has played a lot of volleyball, has a lot of trophies, I understand.
Yes.
In all sports.
Just dedicated their football field to her grandpa, Keith Nate, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, they're retiring after this year, which is interesting. It don't seem so weird, Cokeville, without those two coaching.
Yeah, 40 years of coaching between those two as well. Time ticking down on our Pepsi scoreboard here as we get ready for volleyball action. John Gabrielson, Joel Kindle with you. Amanda Nikoloff's new media crew here with us. I see Christian and Elliott, a camera down behind the bench. Jackson Morris is our director, and Dory White and Wyatt Barichka, cameras high above. Let's go and join Steve Barlow, our PA announcer.
A little shindig here is, number one, in this building you must wear your mask. So please, Central Wyoming College indoors, you need to wear a mask. So let's take care of these young ladies by doing so. The other thing is Central Wyoming College and Casper College and the NJAA promote good sportsmanship. Please be good sports throughout this game. Fans in the stands, please cheer for your favorite team and not against the other one. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. As you can see, it is our pink night. We are here to honor and remember all those who have suffered or lost someone due to an illness. We have had many people who have faced bereavement because of COVID as well. So we recognize the strength and fight that goes into all of it. Mary Axum, this is Mary Axum. She is part of the CWC community and is the director of the City of Riverton's recreation programs. She is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. She was diagnosed the first time at a young age of 36, and then again 8 years later. Her cancer journey was a complicated one because she also had the BRCA1, which sounds like a very serious kind. We are pleased to honor Mary as a cancer survivor and have her here to offer some encouraging words to our teams and fans.
Thank you, Darshea. I was very honored to be asked to come tonight. I know there are people who are affected by cancers and breast cancer specifically who are here tonight or know someone. One thing I think that we all agree on is that it's a tough battle. And I was thinking about my journey today, and I had a total of 12 chemo treatments, 66 radiation treatments, and 13 surgeries. And during those years, I really valued my medical professionals, my nurses, my neighbors, my friends, my church family as my team. That was my home team. Ladies, in your life, you will absolutely know someone, a neighbor, a family member, a friend who is touched by cancer. And so I really want to encourage you guys to remember your role as a teammate and go and support them. I want you to be the hugest support you can ever be, even bigger than what you are for each other here. Be an encouragement, always rally around that person, and just aggressively love them. You want to be a part of their team during that battle and offer your support to them. So always remember, be good to yourselves and be good to others. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Gallard and Mary Axelm. Now, if you'll please rise for the national anthem. And now we will meet all the players for First Casper College. Number 1, Taylor Larson. Number 2, Milena Franzini. Number 3, Haley Latin. Number 4, Tyler Reese Main. Number 5, Rayleigh Samio. Number 6, Camille Nate. Number 7, Julia Santori. Number 10, Sierra Fainaluli. Number 11, Brian Hopi Lampitok. Number 12, Taryn Holt. Number 13, Jada Sagittaraga. 14, Quincy Moran. Number 15, Brianna Hamilton. And number 16, Kylie Painter. Thunderbirds are coached by head coach Angel Sharman, who I believe is in her 50th year, or close to that. And she's assisted by Blaze Grant. Now let's meet your rustlers. Number 1, Sophie Langer. Number 3, Kaylee Nelson. Number 4, Mercedes Pena. Number 5, Shay DeJoseph. Number 6, Haruka Sujimoto. Number 7, Brooke Conklin. Number 8, Lauren Arnold. Number 9, Mackenzie Templeton. Number 11, Ava Rasmussen. Number 12, Emma Hendricks. Number 13, Marley Albrecht. Number 14, Alondra Hernandez. Number 15, Missy Mortensen. Number 16, Hallie Barley. Number 17, Jamie Dorzak. Number 18, Marin Freeland. And number 19, Brinley Smith. The wrestlers are coached by head coach Darshea Gowd, and she's assisted by Brooke Thompson. Ladies, let's play ball.
PA announcer Steve Barlow announcing our starting lineups, well, the entire lineups for each team as we get ready. Casper dressed in their black uniforms on the left side of this Rustler gym. There you're looking into the huddle of our CWC Lady Rustlers, the 13th ranked team in the country right now. And I talked about Kinsey Templeton being 10 kills away from passing her teammate Sage Burnson. But Alondra Hernandez is now second all-time digs modern day for Central. 884, that's one more than Jess Foy Kohler had in that number 2 spot, and is 33 digs away from tying the all-time mark set by Chaisley Gill, who is now Chaisley Jacks, at 917 in the 2007-2008 season.
And both of those two are darn good.
Yes, absolutely were. And Kinsey right now sitting 4th in the nation in kills per set, 11th in the nation in kills overall. She had 26 the other night in a 3-set, well, I guess it was a 4-set win there. She almost gets 7 kills per set in that one. And Central will start serving Kaylee Nelson, the 5'4" freshman from Chubbuck, Idaho, getting ready to serve it up for Central.
I think it's going to be key for Casper to get off to a good start. They have to be considered the underdog here. And I think for their psyche to have a good start against a team that's, considerably ahead of them in the standings. In fact, if CWC wins this, they'll have a 2-game cushion in the loss column. If they lose, they'll be tied in the loss column with Casper College.
Yeah, 16 is who you're looking at for Casper. Their leading killer is Kylie Painter.
I think they're running your camera person off right now, by the way.
Well, and that's not sure why they've, okay, they're going to run our camera person off there. Kylie Painter is a 5'10" sophomore out of Grace, Idaho, and she's the leading killer on this team at 199. Jada Shugataraga is also out there for the kills at number 13. She's a middle blocker from South Jordan, Utah. Referee wins. Our camera crew is vacating the premises, and we are underway some volleyball. As Casper again in black getting the first attack. They'll go to Painter. She'll be dug immediately by Hernandez. Leading killer versus leading killer in the first 2, and Central gets the better of it. Templeton with a 1-0 advantage.
A little bit of a communication breakdown, I think, for Casper College. That ball was playable, but they just weren't able to play it.
Well, and I'm a generous stat keeper, so I give her the kill, so she needs 9 more to be up there on that list. Left-hand swing, Sugimoto is there. Nice job to pull that one up by Santuari. Back set they'll go. She'll get that left hand going again. Hernandez, the dig. Rasmussen on a quick set over the top of the block of Franzini, and it's 2-0 Central. 2 early digs by Hernandez, a kill by Templeton and Rasmussen, and it's 2-0 Central as Nielsen still serving for Central. Painter goes down the line and is out. And Central bolting out to a 3-0 lead early.
Well, maybe not the good start Casper College wanted here.
Swing with a left hand, Santuari, the 6'1" sophomore from Italy. She will connect and give Casper their first point of the match.
We talked about Nate being a great volleyball player at Cofield. She was also part of some state championship basketball teams too, because I did a couple of those games.
Painter the serve. Hernandez, after being dug out of the net by Sophie Langer, couldn't get it to fly over the net, and it's 3-2. I believe you're supposed to give a shout out to somebody from the Langer family.
I was going to do that. I thought we'd wait till the suspense got built up.
All right. They serve at Shigemoto. Templeton blocked, but Nielsen is there to pick it up. Templeton again over the block. Good pickup by Chiraga. Free ball does not get over the net as the second hit went to the baseline or the back line, and Painter can't swing it over, and it's 4-2. Honestly, thought there would be a bigger crowd here for the 13th ranked team in the country on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, and also since they've been away for so long as well. You know, if you talk about a homecoming, this is truly a homecoming, though they don't really, you know.
Miscommunication in the backcourt there, and the libero tangled up with Sierra, and they'll let it fall and hit the floor. Yeah, it's getting more full, but there's still a lot of orange seats available here at Rustler Gymnasium as Ava Rasmussen sends that one into the net. Service error number 1 for the night. I always say that the service errors come in pairs. Here comes Bryn, ready to serve it over. Back set, Templeton. Nice pancake by Hernandez. Referee says, nuh-uh, no argument from Hernandez.
Interesting, we have our first, second, and third hit volleyball coaches in the building here tonight. Sounds like a trick question answer there somewhat, but.
Julia Santuri serving deep. Is Bryn out? Is that other service error we were looking for? Marley Albrecht checking in for Haruka Shigemoto out of Japan. Marley Albrecht, 6'1" sophomore from Sandy, Utah, two-sport athlete, will play basketball for Lindsey Fearing's team at the conclusion of the volleyball season. And there's a stuff block by Mortensen right in the middle of the pack.
I probably should finish my thought. That is that Sarah Stauffenberger coached the team the first year they brought it back. Then Tiffany Stauffenberg took over from him. And then Darcia Gallard, the third coach.
Yep, up until modern day current. Good hang time by Chiraga. And she'll get the kill in front of the diving Hernandez. Jada's first kill of the night.
I think the net kind of threw off the timing a little bit trying to receive it as well.
7-5 Central out in front of Casper College. Just underway. Taylor Larson, former Lady Bronc of Sheridan High School, a 5'9" freshman checking in to serve. Back set Templeton, touch block, going to the floor is Nate to get first hit. So the libero gets the second hit, and the ball is free balled over. Albrecht off of a touch is going to get the kill on the other side. (8-5) our score. And Templeton to serve. Brindley Smith has checked in for Central. Nearly an ace, but diving libero digs it out of there. Blocked by Central. Brought over on the quick second hit. Templeton pokes it over and through the hands of Larson at the first attack. And Missy Mortensen, her first kill, second point, as she had a block for a point as well. Templeton serving again. Templeton leads the team. Actually does not lead the team in aces. Alondra does at 31 as that hit goes wide. Kinsey's not even top 3 in aces, but she is in just about everything else. Templeton, the sophomore, out of Highland, Utah. Go at Hernandez, poked over in 2 by Sophie. Set middle. There's Sophie, poked over by Brindley Smith. Back row attempt by Painter's going to hit the net, and a little misdirection is going to fall in front. Painter has her first kill of the night. (10-6) Rustlers. Congratulations to Stephen Harrison and the CWC men's soccer team. A 2-1 victory over the Northwest Trappers earlier this afternoon in Northwest.
Good for them.
We'll talk more about that in a bit. The women fell 3-0, unfortunately, as Albrecht goes around the block and in front of Quincy Marin.
Well, the court was so open for her there. Didn't appear that much, but it sure opened up that way.
Albrecht with the kill. Hernandez the serve. Central with an 11-6 advantage, and kind of trying to get out of the way, I think, was Marin.
But you're too overcommitted before she could get out of the way. So
be an ace by the leading ace server on the team. In one, Alondra Hernandez has 31 aces to lead the team. Once again, this is the 43rd meeting between these two programs. Modern day since the 2006-07 season when Central brought back the sport. 43rd meeting, Casper leads 31-11. They split last year in the conference. Central actually won 2, lost 1 out of the 3 that they played for the season last year. Pepsi Scoreboard, thank them for our sponsorship of the scoreboard. Fremont Beverages and Pepsi, 12-6 our score in game number 1.
Okay, now get to the what I was going to talk about earlier. Well, you pointed out I should that. Yeah, I got cornered by Sophie Langer this afternoon, and she's pretty threatening, as you might imagine. She said we should do a shout out to her grandmother, Diane, who is turning 75 today and is perhaps listening to us. In fact, we might have a pretty good crowd on hand, really, because because a midweek game, a lot of our folks that come up from Utah, for example, probably aren't making that trip today. We may see some on Friday, but then again, that would be a short one because the team will be leaving right after that. But anyhow, congratulations to Diane, Sophie's grandmother, on her 75th birthday today.
Painter sneaks it through the block of Albrecht and Rasmussen for the kill.
Heard she doesn't look a day over 72, by the way.
Happy birthday there. Comments are open on the YouTube stream. Kelsey Wood saying go Rustlers on that.
Well, a lot of our former players having good years around the country, too, this year, which is nice.
Brindley Smith with that attempt. Painter blocked by Rasmussen, her second one of the night. Actually, that's her first of the night. She did have a kill earlier. 13-7 on the Pepsi scoreboard. Also, big thanks to Tyler Watson, State Farm agent, insuringriverton.com, our title sponsor of the Rustler Report. If you watch on Facebook on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. on Facebook. Nice dig by Sugar Turaga. Smith at the 10-foot line, little roll shot over. Good push over by Franzini, but Central was waiting for that, and then some tanglement in the back row.
And I think you've said that about 3 times with Casper College's, return of play.
You see the coach kind of exasperated on the sideline for Casper. And ball poked over by Franzini, sent back Brindley Smith, cross, that'll tally as Painter can't handle it. Brindley Smith puts the scoreboard at 15-7. Sugar Turaga serving deep and out. Excuse me, it was Shugamoto serving, wrong Shug. Sugar Turaga playing for Casper, Shugamoto playing from probably closer. One is from Alaska, one is from Japan, so they're probably in fairly close proximity to each other.
Well, it depends where in Alaska it's so big, so.
Smith pushes, uses the block off of Santuari and scores. Brindley Smith, second kill of the night. Kaylee Nelson. Central has him doubled up on the Pepsi scoreboard, 16-8 here in game number 1. Pink Knight at Central. Pushed and partially blocked by Rasmussen. Langer sends it over. Free ball coming from Santuari. Jousted the net. It's going to be won by Painter.
Sophie really could not do a whole lot with it as it was overpassed to her.
Sugar Turaga, by the way, their leading digger at 278. Camille Nate, their setter, 9.3 a game, 744 assists already on the season for the returning freshman and setter of the year as Templeton tallies from the 10-foot line off of a Casper block.
And it seems like in all probability she will break that record this evening.
That will get her number 2.
Or break over this barrier,
yeah,
I should
she
say.
She needed 10 to beat Sage Bernson's record. And there's an ace by the second leading acer on the team, Ava Rasmussen. That's her 25th of the season. Second of the night for Central. Ava sporting pink socks on pink night. Fires another one at Sugar Turaga. Sent over, nice job by Nielsen to come get it. Langer to Templeton. They're going to call a delayed call on Langer. That's a very late whistle. They'll call a double on her and give the ball back to Casper. Boy, Templeton had already hit that ball when the whistle came.
That's about what it was.
Game 1. And a service error into the net.
When you're the underdog, you certainly can't afford the service errors, especially on a serve that did not look like it had a lot of velocity on it. That was going to give you much trouble if it did get over the net.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's 2 in a row on her 2 serves of the night as well. 19-10, Langer serving. Left side with that left hand, actually right side with the left hand, Santuari. Brought back over by Mortensen rather. Middle through the block, tally for Jada Sugar Turaga, her second kill of the evening. Substitution in as Larson will check back in to serve. Taylor, that 5'9" freshman from Sheridan. Central unbeaten at home in the last season and a half of Region 9 play as Templeton pounds another one down the middle. Not unbeaten at home this year, but not unbeaten as their tournament last year showed. But in Region 9 conference play, they are unbeaten in this gym, almost working on their second year in a row now. Templeton with an ace in front of the diving painter. Second ace of the night for Kinsey.
Well, instead of certainly winning the service game at this point.
Each team with 2 errors. Central, though, has 3 aces. Casper has none. 21-11 Central on that Pepsi scoreboard. Set middle, shot over. Hernandez goes to get it. Templeton from the back row. Larson is there to pick up the scraps, and they'll send it back over. Hernandez, here's an interesting stat as Albrecht is blocked and Hernandez digs it. They'll go back outside to Smith, who puts it into the net. Second leading assister on the team is your libero. Alondra Hernandez has the second most assists, well, the third most behind Emma Hendricks, but Alondra has 58 because if your setter has that second hit, they become that one usually.
And that's exactly what they'll try to do. They'll try to aim it for your setter quite often.
Albrecht sends it over. Back set and in the net was Casper, and that'll be a Central point.
Unless you're running an offense with 2 setters, which some teams do, then that kind of works against you.
Winningest coach in Casper College volleyball history is Angel Sharman. Over 600 wins, over 500 alone at Casper, and Coach of the Year last year as her team won it. Nice shot through the middle by Sugar Turaga.
Where did she coach before? Because I think we knew that at one time. I can't think of where it was.
I can tell you that because I'm all about it.
You're going to the vault.
Mid-Plains College in Nebraska.
Ah.
Smith, long and out, no touch. Casper using a quick timeout earlier, but still hanging on to that other one at 22-14, down 8 with 3 to go. Serving Sugar Turaga, back set, Albrecht taps it. Blocked back over by Franzini, who is their leading blocker, and then Brinley Smith uses that block of Franzini to tally her 3rd kill of the set. Sugimoto checks in for Albrecht. A couple of basketball players on this roster, 3 of them in fact. At the start of the season. That ball shot to the 10-foot line, pushed by Smith, brought back over by Franzini. Smith trying to dig that back out, can't. But you've got Hallie Bartley and Marley Albrecht that will go to the basketball side of the equation once this volleyball season is over, and I think everybody's hoping it ends in late November as opposed to the first weekend as it has. Rasmussen back set, nice dig of the back row, kind of self-defense, and then scoring it is Painter. Nice job by Casper College to withstand the storm and the fury of Chucky, aka Ava Rasmussen, but then to get the kill right on the very next play themselves. Langer back set, they'll call her for another double. And it's now 23-16. 17, excuse me, 23-17. Very busy sports weekend for Central. We'll talk about that as the night goes on. Rasmussen pushes it left just inside past a diving Camille Nate. And
Casper College wanted to carry, thought that she had directed it more than she had hit it, but they didn't get that call.
It's game point for C-Dub on that Pepsi scoreboard, leading 24-17. Short serve is an ace by Nielsen, and that's how game number one comes to a close. Central, a 25-17 win over the Casper College Thunderbirds here in the first game of the night. Sponsors that we would like to thank, as I mentioned, we would like to thank Tyler Watson, State Farm agent, and InsuringRiverton.com. Tyler Watson supporting the Rustlers at CWC and all Fremont County athletes. Find more information on State Farm Insurance at InsuringRiverton.com. Thanks again to Tyler Watson, State Farm. Rustler Volleyball is also sponsored by Fremont Auto Reconditioning. They offer vehicle reconditioning, window tint for vehicles and for commercial businesses, custom detailing, and more. See more at FremontCustoms.com. Rustler Volleyball is also brought to you by the Golden Buffalo in downtown Riverton, turning old family trinkets into new treasures and offering fine modern jewelry. They're also the home of that bucking horse and rider pendant. They are the Golden Buffalo. And also this evening, the Rustler Volleyball is brought to you by WYDOT, reminding you that seatbelts are the single most effective traffic safety device for preventing injury and death. Buckle up, Wyoming. This message is from WYDOT. And again, a very busy sports weekend for CWC. We've got volleyball tonight. Our soccer teams both played on the road this afternoon. The women fell 3-0. The men, though, picking up their first victory as they knocked off Northwest in conference play today. And if I can find on my text here from Coach Harrison, there it is. Christian Cruz and Isaiah Rodriguez scoring for the Central men as they got a 2-1 victory earlier today over Northwest College. So congrats to Coach Harrison.
I told him the team needed to get some goals, and there you go.
Sayer of Sooth, as we like to say. Central Volleyball will be home again on Friday. They'll host Western Wyoming. Western Wyoming's women's soccer team will be here as well. There is no men's Western Wyoming soccer team, so it'll just be the women.
So they won't be here.
And they're going to play that. The soccer match goes at 1. The volleyball match goes at 4. And you're thinking 4
this
o'clock.
Is a Friday, too.
Right, 4 o'clock on a Friday night. And that is in order for Central. They're going to then make a road trip to Western Nebraska, and they're going to play they're going to play in Scotch Bluff. They'll play the Cougars, and they'll play the second-ranked defending national champion Iowa Western team on Saturday. So that's why the match on Friday is going to be at 4 o'clock. Our golf team is on the way to La Junta, Colorado. They'll golf at the Otero Invite down there. Our rodeo team going to go east of there about 56 miles to Lamar. Our cross-country team heads to MSU Billings this weekend. Our men's basketball team will go to the JUCO Advocate in Windsor, Colorado, Friday and Saturday. And if you're so inclined, you can check out the Rustler Sports Report tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. We are going to talk some golf. We are going to talk some men's basketball. And I believe we've got some cross-country guests coming in. So that'll be on the Rustler Sports Report on the CWC Athletics Facebook page, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Central winning game number 1, 25-17, matching up for game number 2.
Easy win, actually, in the first. Didn't like they put a whole lot of effort into it, really. It just seems like they played just simply much better than Casper did.
11 kills, 2 blocks, 3 aces for Central. 8 kills and I believe 1 block for Casper and no aces.
You know, the crowd has picked up a little bit, but this team really deserves to see more people see it because they are really, really playing well. And
for a Wednesday night and a 13th ranked team in the country that hasn't been home for 5 weeks, I hope there's a lot of people tuned in on TV or on the web that we'll see in the gym later in the last 4 home games. As that's a block at the net by Franzini, and Milena will get her second of the night.
Interesting, that was a block there, but you notice how quick Kenzie's reflexes were, though. Like she, after this block, she had her arm up already, did not get it, but I mean, her reflexes are really exceptional.
Yep, about dug that right out of there. 1-0 Casper's first lead of the night. We're in game 2 on that Pepsi scoreboard. 1-0 Central as Ava Rasmussen connects. We're 1-1 in this game. Central the 1-0 lead on the big board. Women's basketball players shagging balls for the evening tonight. Left hand is out. What do they call Central in the net? As Santuari sent that one in just past the end line, but Central bails them out by being in the net. Painter will serve. Not very many home games left, and you're thinking, well, we just got back from 5 weeks on the road, but yeah, it's all conference games as Nate runs into the net. And I don't know how much of this is privileged information, but I was standing there when she took her shoes off to be taped, and her left ankle is not well. You're
talking about Nate, are you?
Yeah, she is out there battling at about, looking at it, I'd say about 40% or less, but she's battling out there after I watched the coach tape her up. And
so like our Peyton Williams of last year at all times, who's probably playing full contact billiards somewhere, but
that ball sent long. And so, yeah, she's on that hurt ankle and playing well as she sets one there, and Franzini is just out.
Well, I thought I might have got a touch there, but apparently not.
4 officials, 2 down and, well, 3 down and 1 up, say no touch from anybody there.
And really not an argument from Casper College either.
Central a 4-2 advantage. Already leading 1-0 on the Pepsi scoreboard. Franzini through the block of Templeton and Mortensen. Actually, it's Santuari, excuse me.
Had a little mustard on that dog as it went through.
Yeah, the 6'1" sophomore from Italy smoking that one through. Referee telling our head coach, Darshea Gallard, something in the interim there is at the 10-foot line, Templeton. Painter runs into the leg of a teammate. That one sent long. Is she okay?
Yeah, that one they argued a touch and they got it.
They do get a touch. Sierra and Finu Ulili kind of got ran into by Painter. She's okay though. It looked like where it hit her leg is going to be a little awkward, but she's okay, and it's 4-4. Back row Templeton. Sierra off the block, hits the top of the net and comes down 5-4. The Alaskan with the kill. Central again hosting Western Wyoming at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon. And Langer battling that one near the antenna. Hits it, and it hits the antenna.
And after they play Western, they've been through the entire North region once.
Right. Lauren Arnold's going to check into the ball game. Lauren, a 6'1" freshman from Kaysville, Utah. 6'4" Central. Coach not afraid to go to the bench, and she talked about it kind of being the lifeline at Eastern when they were down 7-1 in game 5. and came back to win. Templeton, nice job digging that one out of the campfire. Central back on the attack, and Albrecht says we're done here. Nice job by the Casper defense, but a better job on the return attack by the Central offense. Interesting also that Templeton wears pink shoes during practice, but on pink night does not wear pink shoes because she doesn't wear the pink shoes in the game. She practices in pink shoes, but playing in the white shoes here tonight on pink night. Back row, Painter touched. Hernandez goes to the turf to get it. Smith, right hand, kind of badmintons it over. And that ball sent wide by Chugacharaga. Ties the match at 6 apiece here in game number 2.
I think Kenzie's got a name, image, likeness deal going with those shoes for regular games.
She should if she doesn't. Is nice smack by Sierra to get her second kill of the evening. Here comes Taylor Larson back on to serve for the Thunderbirds out of Casper, Wyoming. Into the net.
Surprised to see Kelly Walsh beat Laramie a couple weeks ago in volleyball. Laramie had gone through the season unscathed a year ago and has most of a team back, including a Florida signee on that squad.
Hernandez to serve. You were mentioning, I think, too, as that ball goes wide by Sierra, the fact that Cokeville is ranked number 1, I think, in 1A again after getting beat up during the preseason, but by a lot.
Going about 500 in the preseason, playing
a lot bigger schools for sure.
From out of state.
That's an ace by Hernandez again. Again, she is the leading ace server on this team. That one right there becoming her, I'll get my right piece of paper out. That one's her 33rd ace of the season.
There should be an Ace Hardware selling here somewhere for us.
You're on it tonight. We got the name, image, likeness thing going on there as that ball into the net. Central back out in front with a Angel Sharman timeout ensuing.
Interesting, one of our lines people played for Angel Sharman, and played very well for as a libero at Casper College.
Yeah, former Riverton.
As a setter, I'm sorry, setter she was.
Former Riverton coach. That is Trista Day. Non-typical services and logistics, locally owned and operated. Next time you have an event, call for a quote. They have heated restroom trailers and flushing toilets. Owner Sean and Miss Lynn Steffen have proudly supported Rustler Athletics as well as Fremont County school organizations for many years. Non-typical services and logistics, 856-1380. That's 856-1380. Midwest owned and locally operated, sell only. Brings you the nationwide power and dependability of Verizon's top-rated service, along with a hometown smile and handshake experience. Stop in today at any of their locations and experience why cellular only should be your only place for Verizon products and services. 2 stores in Riverton, 1 on Main, 1 on North Federal, 1 in Main Street in downtown Lander as well.
Of course, Trista had a couple of sisters who also played at Riverton High School and played well.
(10-7) Central.
That one used to work in the mailroom up here at the college, in fact.
Hernandez serving, 1-0 on the overall board in favor of Central on the Pepsi scoreboard. Sierra hits the antenna, that's out. 11-7 out of the timeout. I think we've got a high school team in attendance here watching today.
I saw some Wind River Cougar t-shirts. Is that the team, you think? Or
well,
maybe more than one.
The name I saw was traditionally not from a different place in the county, as there's another Alondra Hernandez ace.
And a player could simply come to the matches too to see, just to see them.
3 aces tonight for Allo. She is a 5'8" sophomore from Provo, has been the National Player of the Week a couple of different times.
Also not what you want if you call a timeout that didn't lose consecutive points.
Yeah, now find yourself down by 5. Painter in the back row. Nate sends it out. Cross by Samio. Templeton crushes one from the 10-foot line, skims off the roof. Samio again, dug by Hernandez. Right side Albrecht gets a touch of the top of the tape past a diving Nate.
I think she's happy and surprised all at the same time with that accomplishment.
Again, talking about that football field in Cokeville, Nate Dayton Field, named after Keith Nate and Todd Dayton. 4 decades of coaching between those two, and then Coach Nate coached the girls basketball team for a long time. That's pretty much an ace by Allo, as well as that one didn't get back over by the visitors either.
And now the winningest coach in Wyoming coaches the girls team at Cokeville, Mr. Tykert. Another thing about those names, you've heard those names of their kids and grandkids through the years, the Tykerts, the Nates, the Daytons.
Cross is out in Central, 15-7 now out in front. This was a 6-4 Casper lead at one moment. No longer Coach Sharman burning the timeout.
One last Cokeville bid in. They have a player coming back on the girls' side, Emmy Barnes, who was one of the best players in the state. I think put 36 on the board in the state championship game last year.
The Cokeville dynasties continue. Wrestler Volleyball is also brought to you in part by County 10, Fremont County's community news stream. County10.com. They are also the home of Lander Tiger football and basketball and other Fremont County sports coverage on their radio station KOVE, 1330 AM and 107.7 FM. Also streaming at County10.com. Wrestler Volleyball is broadcast in part by Fremont Beverages Pepsi. Longtime supporters of kids and sports in Fremont County, Central Wyoming, and the state. Community leaders with donations of scoreboards all over Wyoming, like the 2 in this gym, and the one that is hopefully going to be in place for the Friday soccer match out back here on campus. Thanks to Fremont Beverages and Pepsi for their scoreboard sponsorship of Central Wyoming Volleyball.
I wonder how many Pepsi scoreboards there are around the state for various sports. I'm thinking a lot.
Yes. Several at each venue, I would think, in fact. Casper will be at Northwest College on Friday. They'll then rematch NJC on Tuesday. And out of the timeout, Hernandez goes right at Larson and tallies yet another ace. 4 aces tonight for Alondra Hernandez. And Angel Sharman out of timeouts. Floater, overpass, knocked down by Rasmussen and Brinley Smith. Almost as good as an ace, and yeah, Cougar shirts that I was looking at for the team. I don't know if they're the whole team here, but some Wind River representation in the house.
How you can tool the kill. It could be the ace tool kill of the game.
Another floater again in front of the defense. Cross blocked by Rasmussen. Nate digs it back up. Another block, this one by Albrecht. 10-foot line, Larson dug by Hernandez. Brinley Smith off the tape and down for a kill.
You almost got the sense there, Casper College eventually on that point was just glad to just get it over with rather than, setting something up.
Haley Latin, Virginia City, Nevada, checking into the ball game.
That's where Bonanza was supposed to be at, by the way. Didn't get gas. I got some hay for my horse, though.
And then Hernandez,
her arm was getting tired.
Apparently tired of serving, blasts one into the net. 18-8 the score. Again, it was 6-4 at one point, Casper.
I wonder how many of our listeners can remember the show Bonanza. Right after the talkies came out, it was pretty good.
Short serve, Smith got it. Rasmussen brings it up, and then Smith sends it deep corner and tallies. Wow. It's just kind of that kind of night right now for C-Dub.
Yeah, and that kind of a night for Casper College, too, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and on the flip side, for sure. 19-8 Central. Haruka Shugamoto in to serve for Central. Back set, cross, touched by Central, and the kill by Sugar Turaga. Wyatt Barichka, who is one of our student camera people. Well,
He's over there.
he's mentoring right now, but
I think he's relaxing.
he'll be your play-by-play guy Friday here along with Joel. I'll be parts unknown as that serve goes deep and out.
I can know where you'll be, but I think I'll leave it to my people myself. But
Well, my son is playing some varsity football against Lander, our big county rival, and that game kicks off at 6 o'clock over at Bill Bush Memorial Stadium in Lander, so I'll be watching my wide receiver defensive back. That ball just in by Franzini for a kill. Riverton looking for their first win. The Tigers looking for some playoff footing. I think the winner of this will, you still got 2 games left, but I think it's big with Worland already beating Lander for playoff impotence. Langer slams one down, but Nate is there. Left hand by Santuari, dug back up again by Nate. That ball just deep by Latin. Oh, a touchdown call by Central.
nice redirect by Sophie in the middle of that point, by the way.
Line judge called a touch. Down judge said no. Up judge is bringing him in. We're going to confab. I didn't see it, but obviously when the line judge,
She called it immediately.
right, isn't going to just kind of fake it. They will give the touch.
And the
to
importance
Casper.
is going to be pretty much minimal, I'm thinking.
Right, down 9 with 5 to go in game number 2. More crowd kind of trickling in here. And it's kind of interesting why this is not a 7 o'clock game, to be honest with you, but nice pancake attempt by Nate. Referees already blew the whistle. They kept playing, but I thought she got it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, sometimes you get it's weird. You get a sense of it whether you had it or not. I think CWC thought she might have got it too because they continue to play on as well.
Overpass, dunked by Lauren Arnold. 22-11, Central doubling up the Thunderbirds now. Trying to go to 4-0 in conference play after they won their first 3 in a row on the road. That ball's into the net. Davis served that.
Yep.
4th service error of the night for Central. C-Dub after Friday goes to Scotts Bluff Saturday and then will not be back home again until Friday the 15th and the 16th when they host Eastern and LCCC. Great dig in the back row. Templeton, nice dig by Nate, and they'll send it over. Maybe I think this one went the other way.
Yeah.
Templeton goes cross court, overpass, hammered again. Great dig out there by Sugar Turaga that time. Back to Templeton. Sugar Turaga saves another one after a touch block at the front. Shugamoto overpass. Langer sends it down and scores it.
Yeah, the redirect becomes a kill.
You know, I thought that Nate might have pancaked the one a minute ago, but not this one.
That's kind of what I was thinking
And
as well.
Calls were reversed.
Yeah, a lot of folks right in that area in the stands were saying, hey, that hit the ground, that hit the floor.
Langer serving, back set Nate. Nice dig by Hernandez along the end line or the sideline. Touched at the top by Templeton and Arnold for the score, and it's game point. And this one will be worse than the first. Central winning 25-17 in the first. And now up 24-12. Nate sends it outside. Nielsen picks it up. Back set Albrecht with the right hand. Goes cross court. Nate sends it back out to Samio. Langer gets second hit. Hernandez sends it to Albrecht, who will put it into the net and down. Darshea Gallard assisted for the second year in a row by one of her former players, Brooke Thompson. A double again called on Langer. That's the third one we've seen tonight on Sophie.
It doesn't look any different than what she's been doing
Right.
all year, so it's like the call is tightened up or something here.
24-14, so I may have spoken too soon and out of turn when I said this one will be worse than the first, as they're making a little run at it. About ended it right there, and it's going to be 24-15 now. Still has a chance to be worse than the first. Creeping up on 7 o'clock. At Rustler Media, home of the Rustlers, Central Wyoming College. Game point Central. Arnold says not yet.
She's
That
played
one
well in the short period of time she's been out there today.
just went wide, and
That went wide?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought it was in.
it was out.
That's how it looked like to you, or
It looked out, yeah, from the get-go.
I'm gonna cross out this 25 here then.
It's still going to be 25. It's just I think what's going to be on the other side is Arnold can't get that one.
But it's not going to be worse than the first.
No, and I think, are we a point behind? Is it 24-17 or is it now 24-18? Darshea Gallagher is going to call a timeout, so I put the announcer Hex on it at 24-12, saying that it was going to be.
Maybe our broadcast was worse than the first.
Yeah, could definitely be that. It is pink night at Central Wyoming College. I'm John Gabrielson. That's Joel Kindle. Thanks to Amanda Nikoloff's new media crew here tonight. Christian Corona, Wyatt Barichka, good friend Elliot, also Dory White. Jackson Morris is our director. And Nevada Bursey is also in this class as well, but Nevada's heading south as she is on the rodeo team, and they are on their way down to Lamar, Colorado. So Nevada not getting a chance to be a part of this broadcast here tonight, but will in future ones.
I believe Riley en route somewhere as well, isn't he?
Yes, Riley is on his way to the other place in Colorado on the other side, Otero in La Junta, 56 miles west of Lamar. Rustler Volleyball would like to thank Wind River Family and Community Healthcare, Gales Carpet One of Riverton and Lander, the Wind River Casino, Sage West Healthcare of Riverton and Lander, Gamble's Furniture and Appliance on Main in downtown Lander. And again, Pepsi, our scoreboard sponsor, 24-17, Game Point Central. Game 1 ended 24-17. Will Game 2 end, 25-17. Will Game 2 end that way? Samio sends it out. We'll have back-to-back 25-17 games. So, second verse, same as the first, not worse than the first. If you go there. Pepsi scoreboard 2-0 Central.
A game a little bit different than the first, where we had the big lead and it looked better at the end, but still a pretty substantial win.
Right. Central right now, Templeton, I have 4 kills, 2 each for Rasmussen and Albrecht. Brindley Smith leading the way with 5 kills right now for Central. And as they've taken 25-17, matching game 1 and 2s from this team, might not be a big stat night on either side of the equation. Do want to say again the final score of some soccer matches today. Our CWC men victorious 2-1 over Northwest College. Our ladies fell 3-0. For the men, Christian Cruz and Isaiah Rodriguez tallied goals for Central. The Central women going to play 5 matches in the span of about 11 days to close out the regular season. The men's team will play 4 matches in about that time frame. The women will play at 1 o'clock on Friday. That'll be here on campus at Central Wyoming College. We are working on getting web stream coverage of those games. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but I do believe hopefully next year. If you'd like to become a donor and have your name on the broadcast, we would love for you to donate some technology starter money.
Interesting, if they say playing is how you get better, they should get better in the next week or so.
Yeah, definitely. Got a lot of activities going on. Rustler cross country hasn't ran in a few weeks. Actually, 2 cross country runners in the program. Dino Valdez and Christian Corona, both running for Alfred Lara and the Rustler cross country team. Our golfers and our 21st ranked in the country cross country team, I might add. They're nationally ranked, along with our volleyball team sitting at number 13 in the country. And I would have to think our women's golf team is probably top 20 golf team right now, as they've mowed down the Region 9 North competition so far.
Of course, I think as I talked about on the show yesterday, the flaw is how many people vote on these things. Even
Right.
volleyball, there were 8 voters this week, and I've seen it some weeks when there's been 7. And like I said, so some people certainly may not be aware of Region 9. I mean, if there are more regions than there are voters, I think that's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, we'll have to lend our expertise.
We'll become 2 voters.
I don't know if together we could become 1 voter, to be honest with you. Our women's golf team, again, they have swept, I think, at least 1 through 4 in every meet so far that they have been in, minus the one where they golfed against the 4-year schools at MSU Billings a week ago. But in Region 9 played, I said Region 9 North, it's Region 9 North and South, and they have dominated.
And they've had good teams in the past, but this might be their most dominant team they've ever had.
Actually caught up with Lexi Cornell, who is a third-year golfer and in the nursing program, and I said,
we don't see hardly at all anymore.
And I said, how is golf and nursing going? And she's like, it's going. My daughter's in the nursing program, and I know her stress and struggles and trials and tribulations and successes without having to juggle being a student athlete and practicing golf every day and going on 3-day road trips to southern Colorado. So kudos to Lexi Cornell on that women's golf team for not only doing it, but doing it well.
Yeah, miss seeing her this year. You'd see her in the hallway, visit with her in the past, and just too tied up right now.
Which she must not be going to the tournament this weekend, because the golf team's already left and she was here snagging some pizza in the student lounge prior to the match starting tonight. So 2-0 Central on the Big Pepsi scoreboard as we start game number 3. Painter, dug by Shigemoto. Templeton, kill number 5 for Kenzie. Halfway there to overtaking Sage Burnson.
I said, look, Sage Burnson having a nice year at Charleston University.
Riley Bouillon, our golfer, is watching online. He wanted to make sure you knew he was still watching as Langer and Rasmussen blocked that one.
He's not getting credit for this by watching it online.
He's got to come up with a podcast idea. I think he actually did. I think Jackson and White, he's in my podcasting class. We were talking about that as well. 2-0 already, game number 3. Nielsen serving. Painter, dug by Central. Rasmussen, pass to the block of Franzini. And who is the other one out there? It was Santuari. It's an ace by by Kaylee Nielsen, her 20th of the season. 5'4" freshman out of Idaho. 4-0 Central out in front.
Interesting, a player on our team from last year goes to Casper College now. Ashley Eyeball, but does not play volleyball there, but she was on the team last year.
Back-to-back aces for Nielsen. Touched by Central and the kill from Santuari. It's hard to believe basketball season is already underway. Preseason, the practices, regular season getting underway November 1st. Brad Schmidt and the CWC men will be hosting a basketball camp at the end of this month. You can check out wrestlerathletics.com for sign-up details on that. Templeton cross is out. And just kind of body language, the way she hit that one, the way her back was arched, you could kind of tell that that really wasn't going to have a chance of being in. 7 o'clock straight up. This is Rustler Media, Central Wyoming College. I'm John Gabrielson alongside Joel Kindle. Our student broadcast crew here from Central as Templeton Connects another one.
That was a much better effort than the previous one.
Yeah. Much better. 6 kills. Unofficially 4 away from tying her former teammate Sage Burnson for number 2 on the modern day kills list. And you know what I think is even more impressive about that, as they'll call Central in the net, is so Nicole Merrill, Nicole Sorensen, same person, different names after getting married. She did it when they played to 30, and she did it with 12 more matches than what Central did because of the COVID shortened year last year. And Templeton is going to break that, having played in that shortened COVID season. And I think that's as much impressive as anything, as that ball fires off of Nielsen in the back row.
But in fairness to Merrill, she only won half got those points with one name, and the other half with the other, so she's actually trailing.
I didn't think she'd gotten married till she completed the years and then switched to basketball, wasn't it?
I know who to ask.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's sitting right down in the stands right there for sure.
I think they're still in touch with her last I knew.
Yeah, it's going to be 4 on Central, as it appeared like a block but wasn't. And then
CWC, or Casper's tied this match up a little bit here.
Yeah, 6-5. And here's another
game, I should say.
Impressive thing, though, is that the top 2 killers, Nicole Merrill and Nan Hokafonu, played at the same time. So it wasn't like one just dominated. They both played at the same 2 years and are 1 and 2 in the
and
standings.
I don't know if anybody hit the ball any harder than Hokafonu, except for, I got to dig it up here,
Dalkey.
Yep. From Nebraska, who just, wow, she could get up and just hammer the heck out of it.
And, you know, she was number 5 in the single season kills.
She didn't smile much either. When she played, she had her game face on.
Yeah, you know, so timeout by Central at 6 apiece, as there is a game going on.
As we reminisce here.
You're getting to watch as we traipse down memory lane. But single season top 5 kills, Nicole Merrill, 430. Kenzie Templeton last year was 14 behind that, but played 12 less matches.
But at the same time, what are you going to do now, though, when you've got players that may play 4 years possibly in junior college,
and that's
because of the COVID thing? Some of these records are I don't know what you do with them. And like in college, some players will be playing 6 years or 5 years plus 3 games.
I heard on, I think it was a University of Montana's player the other night when they were playing on the red field at Eastern Washington, is it? A 6th or 7th year senior, I think they were talking about, on their offensive line. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Well, and it works out in Ava Rasmussen's favor, as now Ava's number 2 on the all-time blocks list, and this being her 3rd season at Central as well. So,
and in Rhodia, the rules are a little bit different too, where you can play extended, years as well.
Right. 6 apiece. Langer on the second hit. Painter picks it up.
That was a backhand attempt there, which is interesting.
Templeton, nice dig. Painter sends it over on a free ball. Shigemoto back set. Mortensen blocked. Shigemoto is there. Brought over by Hernandez. Cross is out. They want to touch. The back judge says yes. They get it.
I think there were 2 calls on the touch as well, not just the one, I think. CWC didn't like the call. I kind of thought it did, but
the way it redirected. Templeton blocked.
I tried to do the slide. Mortensen just wasn't able to get it over the net.
That kill, by the way, was by Sugar Charaga that got the touch by Central. So 8-6.
Let's see a different setter for CWC for the first time.
Emma Hendricks has come in. That's
what I was going to say.
Sophie Langer has checked out at this point. Mortensen, nice dig in the back row by Bryn. And then a little roll shot over, that's a kill by Samio.
More aim than power.
Well, and Coach Gallard not afraid to go to that bench, as she has said. they found themselves down 7-1 in game number 5 at Eastern Wyoming in conference game number 1.
And remember, that's a game to 15 points.
And she went to that bench, and the bench came in and not only righted the ship, but they ended up winning it 15-13 to start the season 1-0 in conference play. Cross is out by Samio, and it's 9-7 Casper. Thunderbirds, though, trail 2-0 on the big board. Gonna have to work on our scoreboard as we don't have anything that reflects the 2 games for Central, looking at the scoreboard online. So we'll check that out between the next game. Templeton off of Nate scoring.
I remember talking to her parents last year that she used to be a setter, which is interesting that, you know, of course that certainly helps you well round out your game when you're doing all these different things.
So who was she letting hit if she was the setter? She had some cannons then if she was, as she steps into that role and is about to be the leading killer in Central history.
Or her height may have come on late. That's another thing that's possible too in high school.
10-8 Casper. Larson in to serve. Opened up it's an ace there by Larson, and opened up the chat on the YouTube page if you wanted to give a shout out. You can hit like and subscribe to the CWC Rustlers page, and that ball sails out. Then you'll get alerts when the Lady Rustlers and the Rustler basketball teams are broadcast live, which we intend every home game to have them on. Again, on Friday, it'll be Wyatt Barichka and Joel Kindle with you behind the microphone. As I'll go partake in some football as Albrecht smashes one. That's a double on that pass there from the back row on Larson. Central down by 1 now. Templeton serving.
Interesting, Samia was directing traffic and then decided I better get the ball myself in that exchange.
Great camera work by our crew as that's past a diving Templeton by Samio. As the Hawaiian has a couple of kills in this frame now. 12-10 Casper out in front.
We had a Hawaiian that could get up in the air too, the flying Hawaiian.
John D. Marinas, the name.
Not big, but she played big.
Serve goes deep to Kenzie. Hendricks, and then Albrecht swats it deep and out of bounds. Going to also see a new Rustler into the lineup. Mercedes Pina has checked in for Central as that ball serves into the net. Blocked by Brindley Smith.
I'm not sure it ever made over the net, but
13-12. Central down 1. Hernandez 4 aces on the night. Trying to tie this one up, and nice shovel work by Sugar Turaga to shovel it past the block to the court and put it a 14-12 game. Again, C-Dub up 2-0. Still, I have to say how shocked I am that this is not more people in the stands here tonight for this team that deserves a bigger crowd for plays like that by Rasmussen. 13th ranked team in the country.
I'm going to say more disappointed than shocked. I don't know, because when do we ever get the great audience? I mean, we've had some
we've usually
good audiences, not great.
Pretty darn good volleyball crowds, even in down years. And Now you got a front runner, and there's another block.
You've got a school night to deal with.
Nice job by Emma Hendricks out there with Rasmussen, and Hendricks pumped right in the middle of the screen there with Ava and Brindley. Ties the match at 14 apiece. Outside, dig by Sugimoto. Right side, left toe into the net, unfortunately by Emma.
Well, you had your three smallest players doing pretty much all the hitting on that one. If I take it back, Pena's the shortest player, 5'3" on our roster, actually, who wasn't involved. But that's a short lineup out
yeah, I
there
was going
right
to say,
now.
outside of Rasmussen and Smith, you're barely pushing 5'5" out there as Rasmussen blocked at the net. Give it back to Ava. She'll shovel it to the outside, and it sails wide. 16-14 now, Casper.
Interesting that they call the carries on Sophie earlier, because I've seen
the doubles,
some of these the doubles, and I've seen the shovels, which strike me as more of a
exactly.
of that.
Smith pushes it through the block and tallies. Franzini and Santuari can't get it. And Brindley Smith, 6 kills, 1 shy of Templeton for game high. Lauren Arnold back into the, Kinsey Templeton back in. As Kaylee Nielsen will go back to serve. Down by 1, Central, still leading on the Pepsi scoreboard, 2-0. Back set blocked. Ball was going to stay in bounds, so Sugar Charaga plays it. Left side, kill by Santuari. 5 kills for Julia. See some of our basketball players in the house. One of them's in a boot already. Haven't even started the season yet. Already in a walking boot. Coach Brad Schmidt and Sam Harrison, the coaches, will go to Windsor, Colorado this weekend, and we'll talk with Coach Schmidt on the program tomorrow. Nice job by Emma Hendricks. Got up at the net, smacks it down on the second hit for the kill.
Well, she got it pretty good for a setter there to put that down.
Yeah,
of course,
Emma,
at the big schools, you're seeing the big setters now. Like I realize the school I'm keeping tabs on just recruited a 6'2" setter out of high school.
I have to apologize to Emma too. She's 5'9". I said the rest of the team pushing 5'5". She's 5'9", so I apologize.
Yeah, she and Sophie are both listed at the same height, in fact.
Templeton. 8 kills for Kenzie, and I may be off because I'm pretty generous with kills, but I may be giving her 1 more than she's actually gotten, as she closes in on Sage Burnson in the number 3 spot on the all-time modern-day kills list. Blocked down by Missy Mortensen. Central starting to roll once again, as now they have battled back and taken the lead on Coach Sharman and the Thunderbirds. 18-17 our score. Central out in front. They lead 2-0 in the best 3 out of 5. And again, one more chance to thank our awesome sponsors that are helping make our Rustler Report and these games possible. As hopefully, I would like to take a couple of our young broadcasters to the Region 9 tournament in Scotts Bluff, Nebraska, if it all works out with stuff. And your sponsorship will help those kids get that experience, and Wyatt will get some play-by-play this weekend, and Jackson as well. And they're doing that, and it's not even really part of their classes. We don't have a sports play-by-play class. They're both interns that work for me, and they get to do a lot of play-by-play. I've contracted with the high school here. We do the sub-varsity football games. We've actually done varsity football games for Shoshone, and maybe during the playoff push for the Wranglers, they'll get to do more of those games. And
so the class that interrupted yesterday was not really a class, is what you're telling me.
That was not. That was actually a podcasting class. That was not the sportscasting class.
I did interrupt that.
You
Good
did
deal.
interrupt
Okay.
the class, yes.
All right.
18-17, Rasmussen serving with a 1-point advantage.
I'll make sure my interruption wasn't for naught.
Blocked and a 4 hit. They won't call a block for Mortensen, but they'll call a 4 hit, and it's 19-17. Those sponsors, though, as I mentioned, Tyler Watson, State Farm agent, insuringriverton.com, Fremont Customs, fremontcustoms.com, Golden Buffalo, YDOT, non-typical services and logistics. You can find them on Facebook. Sell only, as that ball gets through by Santuari. Also by Sell Only, 3 locations in Fremont County, County 10, and of course, as I mentioned, Pepsi, our scoreboard sponsor here tonight. Templeton through the block. 9 unofficially for Kenzie. I could text Brooke and ask her how many she has, but she's busy. She probably wouldn't answer. Brooke Thompson being the assistant coach on the sideline. 20-18, Central trying to close the book as Hendricks sends that one into the net. Central again won the first 2 by identical scores of 25-17. And now trying to close out the visiting Thunderbirds here tonight, leading 20-19. Late stages of game 3. Templeton off the top of a block will be dug up in the back row, blocked by Mortensen. Back set, Larson swung up there one time. Hernandez can't get there for the second hit. And it's going to be a kill for the Thunderbirds. 20-20 score now. Nice serve received by Templeton. Good throw by Brindley Smith. Pushed back. Hernandez is there. Put up in the air. Templeton free balls it back over. Nate back sets it down the line. Hernandez punched back up in the air by Nielsen and sent over. Free ball by Hendricks.
A lot of free balls at this point, actually.
Samio with a little roll shot type. Hendricks to Templeton. Connected.
That was less than a free ball there.
Unofficially, by my tally, that ties Kenzie Templeton with Sage Burnson for number 3 on the modern day kills list here at Central Wyoming College, and a timeout called by Angel Sharman. And Central had volleyball from, I have this in my note of notes. They started in 1977 under Fran Buckless. You see
she
names,
coached volleyball as well as basketball at that time.
She then Gay Hughes took over for a couple of years. Todd Cotton, Dave Caratini.
Todd Cotton also coached basketball here.
They had 3 years where they didn't have a team, and then brought it back for 90 and 91, which is
that is interesting.
Yeah, it's an odd thing. They were eliminated for 3 years, brought it back for 2, and then eliminated volleyball in 1991, and then brought it back in 2006.
Todd Cotton went on from here to coach at the same college George Strait went to.
And I think
Southwest Texas State.
Coached men's basketball, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he?
He didn't originally.
Or was it women's basketball?
Women's
okay.
then.
So I have little to no individual stats from 1977 to 1991. And
I believe that a team that got to the tournament one year.
Highest finish was second. They've never won the Region 9 in women's volleyball before. Basketball, I do believe, has had a couple of Region 9 champions on the women's side anyway. Nice dig by Smith at the net. Joust and won by
I think we touched on, we touched on the joust, I don't think.
Pena will check back in for Templeton along that back row. 21 apiece. So when I say all time, I don't know that there were people with bigger numbers. It was a much different game than playing 3 sets to 15 side outs and things like that you don't really know about. And what was that call there? I say your reaction.
That was another double.
Okay. 22-21 Casper. Middle, Mortensen, kill. Missy's kind of had a silent, I guess a quiet yet effective night. Hadn't been huge flashy, but she's done well.
I've had a chance to talk to her a few times. Very nice young lady, you know.
Hernandez, the ricochet, that one that takes an ace away from her on the night.
Bumper pool there.
Pushed over by Marin Freeland, and Central a 23-22 lead.
Which, by the way, Arkansas has a linebacker whose name is Bumper Pool.
All right. Marin Freeland, by the way, out of Harriman, Utah, the 6'2 freshman. 23-22. Hernandez serving again. Nate sends that one to Painter, and she'll connect.
Well, she just found open space and put it there.
Unofficially, I have Painter for 5 kills out of Grace, Idaho. Hope you've enjoyed the student broadcast here tonight. Student produced, I guess. Brindley connecting. Seven kills for Brindley Smith tonight. As Freeland checks out. This is match point, Rustler fans. Central trying to 3-0 the Thunderbirds. And they'll do so on a block by Emma Hendricks. And that's how it ends.
Well, you get a block out of your setter to end the match.
25-17, 25-17, 25-23. Your final score. Central is 4-0. They are 14-5 on the season. And they have dispatched the Thunderbirds. And now it's only 12-31 in the win category in favor of the Thunderbirds.
And of course, it's most important is the last one you played.
Yes, exactly.
Until you play them again.
Central with a 3-0 win over the Thunderbirds here tonight, visiting. Rundown of some final stats. Again, unofficially, I have Kenzie Templeton for 10. Iffy, it might be 9. it
might be 11.
Might be 14, honestly. But Kenzie tonight, 10 kills, unofficially tying the mark of Sage Burnson for the number 3 all-time, modern day. I guess I got to quit saying all-time, but number 3 on the kills list for the.
And let me say something about Sage Burnson in that class. That was the class that kind of transferred over, you know, because we'd been kind of middle of the road, and that was the class that, you know, the Peyton Williams on that class, Ashley Steffen, and I should know the other ones, but I don't.
Mary Moyle.
Yes, Mary Moyle, a very good player on that team as well. And it's like I said, that was a class that kind of was the transition class to what we're seeing now.
Central. Other stats tonight, Templeton, as I mentioned, 10 kills. She also had a couple of aces in there. Alondra Hernandez, 4 aces and a kill. Ava Rasmussen, 4 kills and a block. Nice job by Brindley Smith tonight, 7 kills for her. And then Emma Hendricks comes on with a kill and a block at the end of the match.
Including the match ender.
Yeah, exactly, including the one that terminated the evening tonight at 3-0 Central as they take apart the Casper College Thunderbirds. Leading the way for the Thunderbirds was Julia Santuari. She had 5 kills. Kylie Painter had 5. These are unofficial stats as well. Sugar Charaga had 4. And 5 service errors on both teams. Central came away with 8 aces tonight. Not a single ace out of the serving for the visitors tonight from Casper College.
That's tough when you don't have any aces, but you have errors.
Yeah, on the other side, 5 service errors with no aces. You have our cumulative stat of the night, the insignificant stat of the, I guess it's not
the
quite
cumulative score is 75-57, you know, the 2 17s and then that last one. So it's a good one for CWC. I thought this was a dangerous team just because of their coach, if nothing else. I think we both think very highly of Angel Sharman as a coach, but did not have the horses tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately for her team did not, but Central, the Rustlers did have as they come away winning it 25-17, 25-17, 25-23. Next up for Central, Friday afternoon, a 4 o'clock matinee performance when they take on Fred Ann Soto and the Western Wyoming Mustangs. That honestly, that has been a kind of a weird turnaround. They won it 2 years ago, the Region 9 North, and we're a game away from going to nationals. And then last year and this year just have kind of struggled, I think, when COVID and some other various reasons have just kind of taken its toll on Coach Soto's poor team.
And then you had interim coaches for a while. I thought they really kind of was the the top dog for a while, and suddenly it seemed like they quit investing in it as much.
And she comes back and wins the Region 9 2 years ago, and then last couple of years it's been rough. But 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon for CWC women's volleyball. And then our soccer team, our women's soccer team, will play Western Wyoming at 1 o'clock on the field here on the north side of campus. And you can check out anything and everything you want to know about Rustler Sports at rustlerathletics.com. Don't forget, you can catch us with a Rustler Sports Report every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. on the CWC Athletics Facebook page. So for Amanda Media, I do it every time, Amanda Nikoloff and the new media class, Jackson Morris, our director tonight, Wyatt Barichka on cameras, along with Christian Corona, Dory, Elliott. Did I miss anybody? I think we got everybody. All right. For Joel Kindle, I'm John Gabrielson. This has been a presentation of Rustler Media. Thanks for being a part of it. And until Friday at around 3:55, we will see you on the Facebook page. I'm John Gabrielson. Central wins 3-0. They are now 14-5 overall. They are now 4-0 in the Region 9 North.
And